brain slew, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
We will be lip syncing to Limp Bizkit later on, so stay tuned.
Toaster's here, everything's okay. Oh, God, Toaster, thank God you made it. Thank God. We got one person in the chat, his name is... I don't know your real name.
What is your real name?
Is it Chester?
Bennington, R.I.P. Whitney, a quick personal check-in. How we doing? Where are we finding you at?
I just got the funniest text from Jake on the way over here.
Does the internet know him as Jake, though?
The internet knows him as Spite.
Spite, the motorcycle guy.
What else? I was getting texts. What else?
You're
What about
fighting
a global
against the school
check-in?
system.
I am fighting against the school system. I just got an email too, like an hour ago. I blasted this letter. Thank you, ChatGPT. Is like, do you want 17 people and all their emails to send all at once? And I was like, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this without you. I know you're killing the planet, but hopefully we'll get you on nuclear power, and then everything will be okay.
Yay!
Here's what happened. I get an email a few days ago, like, your kid's school might close down, and we're gonna have to fire everybody, and that's it. And I was like,
huh. Strange. School just started.
Fascinating. We survived like major budget cuts because Texas hates public schools, and they're just trying to get everybody to do private or charter, which is different tangent. So I like started looking up all these articles about what exactly was going on, what exactly was happening. I'll spare you the details. TLDR. Greg Abbott is trying to bankrupt the public school system in Austin so that the West Texas billionaires who are his puppeteers, they are evangelical Christians. I'm not sure. Anyways, they get all the money. They get all the voucher money because they need more money from the government. And it's the taxpayers who are actually footing the bill. And then they're going after a bunch of predominantly black and brown schools, which the one that my kids go to is. There's like 15 of them that might close. And they're all predominantly black and brown schools. So I wrote a fucking letter and I reeled it back. You know me.
Why?
Because I like to throw my dick on the table.
Yeah.
But I know that, like, in order for this to go wider and for it to be publishable in a newspaper, or
it needs to be more publicly palatable.
Needs to come from a sane person.
Pretend to be sane and write a letter.
I had to pretend to be sane. I'm good at that. It's called masking.
But if they find you on your podcast, they'll know exactly who you are.
They won't find us. That's another tangent. Put a pin in that as to why this is such a sacred practice for me, and why I remember there was a comment on a video like, why aren't you guys on social media? Why did just nobody know about you? And I'm like, shh. It is this way. It's important for us to have a corner.
This is a safe place.
This is a safe place for us to hide. We're hiding.
Do not
come
send
in
help.
here. We don't need you. And Austin Statesman almost, I have this funny tracking thing that shows me how many times people open a email or forward it, or I forget why I did that. It's actually really helpful. And then on the way over here, I got an email from the superintendent of Austin Independent School District. His assistant is like, hey, I'm going to forward this to all these people. Because I was like, fuck you guys.
This is what we call sizzling the matrix. When you see something that's wrong, you realize within yourself that you have the power to throw a monkey wrench into the spokes, and maybe something will happen. And there's no fear of like messing things up, because what would get messed up? There's nothing to lose here.
My kid's school is going to close, and then I don't know where she's going to go. I don't have a backup plan. I like to bike there. It's great. Why?
And she enjoys it, and she's getting a good education.
it's just the community is really great too, and they're it's Montessori. It's a public Montessori school, which is hard to find. Those don't exist. So, yeah.
Well, hell yeah. I celebrate you going and like trying to push a new agenda onto the public, onto the government.
It's nice. It just felt good to write it. So whether anything happens from it, I don't know. I'm going to go to a meeting tonight at the school about it.
About the letter or about the closing?
About the closing. About the... Then I had to fill out some survey that they did. They're like, what could we do better? And I'm like, what's
Stay
wrong?
open.
I was like, well, what's wrong? You guys aren't saying what's wrong. I'm reading that the Texas Education Agency is changing rubric and making it retroactive, which just seems like political fuckery to fight. It
sounds like gerrymandering, but in time space.
Exactly. And then so they got sued by certain school districts who were saying like, these kids have graduated. What is happening? And I was like, is this Russia? Like we're just the government. They can just do whatever they want, and
things are not as they seem.
Yeah, it feels very like some other demonic force is at. And the more you read about it, the worse it is. It just doesn't.
It's so fucked that you have to like force onto people this idea that kids are important and their education is important.
All of them are on the chopping block right now.
Like, why don't you care about kids becoming good people?
Because back in Roman times, which would be when BC, like when Rome was
2,000,
like
3,000 years ago.
They made the woman subservient so they could rape our children.
Oh, so it's all about pedophilia?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's just about like
control.
Man is great. Everybody else, you underneath me.
Man, we want to be balanced with you. We don't want to be underneath or on top. We want to be on the same.
Speaking of underneath or on top, I had a hilarious revelation. It was so hilarious. I accidentally spoke about it at the coffee shop yesterday, and it was so awkward. I wanted to jump off of a bridge.
Go, sister, give him the revelation.
I feel like the universe was just it was so fucking funny. I was like, somebody's watching me.
What are you referring to? A conversation in the coffee shop?
Stopping. We're out of coffee beans. I go grab some coffee beans. You get a free coffee. And I was like standing there, and she's like, what kind of books are you reading? And I was like, oh.
Have you ever heard of the Kabbalah?
Yeah, I was like, out of all questions to ask, I was like,
she could tell you were a reader by your choice in beans.
I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Did you tell her about the Tree of Life?
I did. Yeah. Well, she's like, well, what'd you just read? And I'm like, what? You could ask me about anything right now. And I was like, well, funny you should ask that.
So funny.
And I'm, as an occultist who hides, who doesn't tell anybody anything, I was like, I was reading a book about women
carburetors and
I don't even know how to make up a story.
Quality of synthetic oil over
I was reading a book about motorcycles,
different types of broccoli. That's what I'm reading.
I see that. What did I say? I was like, well, it's funny, you know, there's this they went on about their all their friends are in I was like, well, I'm an occultist, so I don't know if this is something I should say. And then they were like, I'm part of a queer witch coven, and talked about all the queer stuff. And I was hoping that would take long enough for me to grab my coffee and go, and then like not have to them
divulge
what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know the Tree of Life symbol? They're like, yeah. And I was like, well, apparently the whole reason we were kicked out of union with God is because Adam's first wife, Lilith, fought with Adam about who was going to be on top during sex. And the fight was so bad, God had to intervene. But then Lilith had an out by calling God by his real name. And through saying that, she was like banished to this outer ring of where demons lie. And she ended up turning into half a snake just from being there. And when she saw that Adam got a new wife, she fucking went in.
Yeah.
And said, bitch, come with me. Which is funny because the story is adjacent in tantric tradition of Shakti and something else are the same, and they're feminine energies. There's dark and light.
What was Monkuth, or wasn't there something?
Oh yeah, I like read the whole thing out to you. Anyways, that's why we got kicked out, or that's our separation from God, according to the Bible, is that Lilith just wanted to fucking be on top.
And it's a metaphor, right? It's like the power that we espouse in our relationships, in our social groups. Like, obviously, patriarchal systems demand subservience. And that's not something that an intelligent creature, volunteers. Right?
And I always think back, there was the scripture of Mary Magdalene, but like, all in all, celibate men were like writing.
This is a tale as old as time.
It's like
song as old as rhyme.
You ever read an old fairy tale?
They're scary as fuck.
I wanted to rape that 9-year-old, but I decided to make her a Tinkerbell instead, and so I kept her in my pocket. You're like, yuck!
Ew.
You guys are the worst.
Yucky. Oh my god. So did you have to tell them at the coffee shop anymore about Shakti and stuff?
I gotta reel it back. I was saying it as somebody who did not look like they would enjoy this conversation walked in and was like, hello.
What?
And the person that I was telling it to was like, oh. I was like, have a good day.
Sorry.
I was like, I just don't want to, because it was like got interrupted at the peak moment of me saying,
yeah, and you're like, cool,
coitus,
I'm gonna go.
Coitus, and
Do you think it's more complex to talk to about a queer person because their gender roles are not?
I was thinking about that. I was like, well, this is what I'm just saying what the Bible says. I'm not like...
Right. Who speaks Hebrew? Anybody? Does anyone speak
I was
Aramaic?
supposed to learn it for my ceremonial magic class, but I don't have time to learn another language.
Why is Hebrew
right
such
now.
a powerful language?
So that's also in the book. That book is so fucking good. I wish I could lend it to you, but it's not mine. And the cheapest one I found was $250.
Shwing.
But they also talk about, like, it seems really like Jewish, but it's not. Like, a lot, the Kabbalah transcends all religions because it is a culmination of ancient Egyptian amulet symbols and Roman graffiti and like just things. However, Hebrew is really interesting and it is extremely old. So speaking
and there's
of
so much writing and sort of like discussion over all the things that have been written.
Yeah, and one word means a lot of things, which is really cool. So I think it's like easy, and then it's kind of hidden in plain sight.
Mm-hmm. Well, like ultra-Orthodox sects of Jewish Orthodox men will like have this holy mission of like sitting inside and discussing the Talmud and just like trying to ascertain the deeper truth there, and they like are paid for. I'm reading Yuval Noah Harari. He's Israeli, and he has like a different sort of perspective because he's gay and atheist, and he doesn't agree with like Israel's nationalistic mission.
Zion,
right?
Yeah.
He's not Zionist, but so he was talking about the ultra Orthodox in Israel and how they don't have to work because they just discuss the Talmud all day, and they have like the women to like prepare the food and do all the domestic stuff, but it's like a holy charge, sort of like a monk sort of approach.
Could you and I well, you like to cook, but it'd also be kind of sick to just sit and study a text all day while
No
people bring us
shit.
good food.
If Dan doesn't get up in the morning and go like, hey babe, I'll sit in that chair for 7 hours just reading and holding my cat.
Yeah.
I love reading.
Yes.
It's so good.
I know. I have crushed. I brought back YouTube and the iPad in the morning because I'm like, I'm reading a book. Go get addicted to it. I don't care. Leave me alone. I want to read for 30 minutes. And it's just like I've been like
Yeah.
inhaling that book while
Hell
they
yeah.
just like go off into Coco Melon land. It's like I don't care. It's kind of worth it.
Absolutely. I've been watching, there's a channel on YouTube called Esoterica where there's a lot of good sort of
Yes, the
explicative
guy,
videos. Yeah,
the main guy. Yes,
I think his name is Justin
Schumacher.
Schlong,
Justin Long Schlong.
Yeah, that's it. But I was watching his video on the historical Jesus, and I mean, he's got really good stuff on Mary Magdalene and like the lost.
Do you want to go see her
Gospels. Yeah.
skull? Yeah.
I would see a skull. Well, so I had in mind for our discussion, MAWPOD 83, to be loosely addressing artificial intelligence, which is like kind of the biggest thing that's happening to our civilization currently.
Absolutely. It's on like you go into your email now and it's like, do you need help?
Hey, do you want me to write that for
Do you
you?
need help?
Or you like write an email and they're like, do you want me to polish that for you? It's like, fuck no.
It's like it's all over the place. And I remember when it first landed on Google, you're like, what do you want to do?
It's the paperclip from Microsoft
Yes,
Word, but
yes,
it's for every
yes.
aspect
It's been
of
there
your
the whole
shit.
time. Yeah.
No, I don't want you to polish my shit this time because I want it to sound like it came from me.
Yeah.
But if I was trying to sound generic and, I don't know, like a robot, then yeah, go ahead and write my shit. But more specifically, I wanted to talk to you about a specific thing.
Did you know the person who's going to officiate Megan's wedding is an AI sex bot?
That's not true.
That wears.
She's gonna do it. She's my vision.
I found like this AI bot wearing just the coolest fucking shit, like shiny metal, ornate, and her mouth
yeah.
is like, it's.
Smile like a donut.
I'm
Alright.
like, dude, strap me into this timeline.
Lots of good wedding fodder floating around. Okay, so the question is, how can we use artificial intelligence to leverage Homo sapiens' continued existence? And so we would have to look at two sides. The Wall-E outcome, where humans become fat blobs of boneless turds who drink 6 gallons of soda and have motorized
I feel like
chairs.
it's mostly the car's fault, but yeah.
True, absolutely. Or on the other side, can we maintain our dignity? Can we continue our existence and sort of elevate our existence without disintegrating into a pleasure-based technocracy? And pleasure is the hardest thing to overcome because of the power of dopamine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. So
I
it keeps us
did a
alive.
lot of research into deepfake pornography, and like 98% of the deepfake videos on the internet are non-consensual revenge porn. You heard it here first. 98%.
I'm just the more we go in that direction, the more it doesn't matter if your job is like, we saw that this porn video and they're gonna go, it's fine, it's happened to everybody. Like, that's where I want us to be. Like, everybody's seen the inside of your fake puss and everybody's seen you shove a light bulb up your butthole.
I would never do that, so that's not me.
And then it's just like, nobody cares, because then nobody has power over you.
Right, but
I can't wait to have that conversation with my daughters.
No one has power over you. Well, it's like, so we're at the crossroads of like this new technology, and it's like infiltration into our homes through everyone having a phone. And So I was also reading more about pornography because I feel like pornography's hold on society is still strong.
It's only going to get stronger and tighter and longer
And harder.
and harder and bigger. And I saw that an OnlyFans chick made $82 million a month. And I was like, do you have 2 pussies?
How
do you have 4 tits?
What's going on?
And I saw her and I'm just like,
But there, so that
I don't know.
but that
I don't get
brings
it. I don't
to the
wanna know.
forefront her ability to connect intimately with the person who's viewing, because I feel like that's what really is the game changer. Like, you can have the biggest titties or the roundest ass, but if you can give all of that but also somehow make a connection with the person who's witnessing you, I feel like that's the leg up.
we should do, I don't know anything about OnlyFans because it's like, is she making that much because it's like custom stuff? Like she's doing requests or like people are bidding? I don't understand.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if people are like asking in private messages for like, can you step on a yogurt container that's been sitting outside for 3 days in high heels and then walk around on a bunch of broken glass,
And then you get $5,000 or whatever.
and
Oh,
they'll
okay,
give her like
okay.
$5,000 to do that, then that's probably what's going on. But if that's the case, then she's got all kinds of time to
Dude,
fulfill requests.
Tom says also there is an OnlyFans lady with 2. 2 what?
Two pusses. One of those is an a-hole. I hate to break it to you, but one of those is for poop.
One of those is definitely for poop. Hate to break it.
So the question remains.
You can't put lipstick on a butthole. Oh, no, he says it's supposedly 2 separate canals.
Is it a rectal fistula?
Dude, I don't know. We gotta look. You gotta look it up. I got children in the house. Okay, hold on. So go back. Sorry. Is
it another puss or is it a butt? This coming up next on MAWPOD 83. Stay tuned.
Can you please turn that into a short? There are some like just total gems that I want to just watch. I only want them into shorts so I can just go back and watch.
All right, 24 minutes. Short.
Yeah, yes.
See if we find it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so you're asking, can we use this to leverage evolution?
Is it possible to benefit society using AI as opposed to enslaving society using AI? I guess.
So 2 things come to mind.
Yeah.
Billy Carson's cargo cult theory, and the second thing that comes to mind is this reel that I went into the comment section of that really stuck with me, because the reel is like, you think you're the only one that's ever been his life has sucked politically, but and it's like, it has sucked forever. It's worse things, life is always sucking, whatever. And then the whole comments was like, yeah, but we're supposed to be better. We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to do this. That was a long time ago. And I'm like, I think that's a fallacy.
Oh, this goes back to does human nature evolve along with technology and society?
It
makes
doesn't.
me wonder what human nature is.
I think we used to be a lot more in touch with ourselves and our bodies and nature and knowledge, and we just spent more time with that. And now that we're so far away and we've convenienced ourselves into a labyrinth of just convenience, that we are a lot I don't know what the word, we're ignorant because of we don't sit and read and wander barefoot. Like, we spend our days going to the gas station or the grocery store and cooking. And
there's like a marked lack of discovery or like a curiosity in like a normal person's day to day, because people have like specific tasks they have to fulfill, usually related to their job. And then once you've done all of those things, you're out of energy and you just want to sit and watch TV and go to sleep after drinking a few beers.
Yeah, and then I think that isolation from, we'll call, the nebulous of life. Like, there's so many different, you could learn how to build or sculpt hunt or run or weave, or just like there's so many things that we are so out of touch with. That isolation, come back, has made us the Grand Canyon of porn is like all that we, because I was reading a big solution to siblings fighting is just being outside, having things
so there's
to
more
do,
stimuli,
having things to do. Okay, this is what we're doing, not sitting in your house watching TV. Now that
makes sense.
It's a great way to unwind, and that's how we unwind in my household, is like put on last night, Nightmare Before Christmas, and everybody's just like melting.
It's a relief. You get to just be easy.
Watching some kids in my life that I know, it's just what you come home and you sit in front of the TV, and your parents are like, get away from me, I got this thing to do. There's no like yesterday was really good. It's finally not hot outside. It's like, we're going to be outside from fucking 3:30 until 6:30.
Hell yeah.
And then it's dinner, and then we can go back outside, and then it's bedtime. And I was looking at this double wide, like 3 miles from my house. It's like $80,000. My mortgage would be $500.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, we could go camping. I could like buy a camper. We could like go, there's all that opens. I'm house poor right now. All my money goes to my house. And I'm like, what if I had more land and less house?
Then you could have garden.
Then you could just, I don't know. I want to open the door and my kids just like go run around, but instead it's this traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that way for a lot of kids all over the world.
It's the urbanization.
It's the urbanization.
It's the suburbanization.
So I think we have this expectation that things are linear or exponential. We haven't really conceptualized in our day-to-day like a sine wave. Like things have huge ups and huge downs. Or maybe it isn't up and down. Maybe it's side to side. And I do deeply think that the Sumerians created us in their image to harvest food, and we were a mistake. And everything from there on out is just us
fumbling through time
because they got what they needed and they dipped, and they have
is that the Akkadians? Or wait, what's the name of the Anunnaki?
The Anunnaki. I don't know, Magic. Do you shit, what was I gonna have you look up? If you could send me the link. Oh, there's allegedly a place in our DNA that has been artificially altered. Because we used to be, you read Confucius texts, people were 1,000 years old. And the clock, our concept of time hasn't been around that long.
No. Our concept of time is anxiety inducing.
Yeah, and then our calendar, and there's a really cool unraveling of that kind of knowledge, being like, this is how it used to be.
Well, the industrial age didn't help at all. But I feel my thing always goes back to like the introduction of agriculture and like because there's like evidence, there are studies that show that certain nomadic groups didn't used to have like this conception of linear time.
Yeah. Yes.
And like the future wasn't something that really concerned them. It was more like, well, what are we doing now?
Because you had everything you needed.
Yeah, you had plenty. But then,
then you got
you sort of drop some wheat seeds or something, and you see that they spring up, and you're like, oh shit, we should probably be here when they fucking come to fruition. I often think of the spark of conquest. I thought about it when I went to the first Starbucks. I just wanted to see it, and then I got swept into a line, and I thought maybe they would have like, this is our original menu. Like, I thought it's not different. Don't go there. But corporate.
But standing there, I could feel the seismic fucking like energy that, what did Starbucks, it's got a mermaid as this thing, it's just like took over the fucking world, man. And I think about that with the Spaniards, because they're some of the fastest on motorcycles, and I was like, yeah, they're really good at conquest. Same thing going down to Mexico City when you see that they fucking demolished all the pyramids and built just these like
Crazy Spanish missions.
crazy churches that are just like, oh, you guys said, watch this.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Look
Hold
at
my
this
cerveza.
fucking church.
I want to go to Mexico City so bad.
Let's fucking go, babe.
And
It's
the
so
part,
great.
and you know the outlying parts.
It's my getaway plan. Although I don't know. Apparently, I don't know what's real and what isn't real anymore on the news, and I don't know what I'm being fed, and I don't know what's propaganda. So I just like tend to just steer away from it now. But
Are there any reputable sources of information anymore? Associated Press? Are you still neutral?
there is an website or an app that will post the same story, but all the headlines on all the different.
Funded by Peter Thiel.
But it says which one's right leaning and which one's it shows you how the news is being reported, which I think the only way we could, I don't know, elevate humanity with AI is through transparency.
Transparency is huge. And what does that mean?
A removing of the veil. I think it was
Which is the opposite of marketing. Marketing is like
trying to sell you
trying
something.
to paint a picture of how things could be and making you believe that if you make this purchase, then you can have this imaginary scenario in your life.
Erica posted this thing. It said Pfizer, 100 years, 0 cures. And I was like, yeah, because it's starting to come out now. How much was it? J.D. Rockefeller who started labeling herbalism and natural medicine as quackery, and that was like a whole campaign for a long time, for decades, and it worked. And then he sold petroleum-based pills that don't actually, and I think, you know, modern medicine has done miraculous things, and maybe we had to go that far
Right.
to be pushed. Lucas is learning how a fucking he's in training right now to like learn a machine that bypasses your lungs and heart. It's like, that's pretty fucking cool. That's gonna save lives. And maybe we had to go the evil petroleum route to like develop the technology, but it would be kind of tight to come back and see like, oh, this is a cure for cancer and it's free, but we don't talk about it, you know. That's an extreme example, but I'm just saying,
But it's
life is about
true.
balance.
It's
about
like
balance.
whenever I think about the administration right now and how they're like trying to make every aspect of the government super, super tiny and like super, super based on Christian principles and values, I always think my next thought is always, oh, well, we're going to swing back the other direction. This is a response to how open and like pushing for equality and diversity the past administration was. And it just keeps on going back and forth. But eventually, you know, like a plumb bob, we've got to land somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm not very doom and gloomy about what's happening right now, because I fucking love anarchy, baby. I love what's
She wants
going
to
on
see
in
it all
Nepal.
fall down.
I love like Trump is like taking shit so extreme, because I'm like, unfortunately, we got to get to a level that's like unbearable in order for it to crumble and burn down.
Yeah, his like gutting of everything is a fresh start that we need.
And our complacency for decades, especially on the Democratic side, is like nobody fights anymore. Like, what happened? I'm not even going to go into politics.
Everybody's chummy because they all get money.
It's just so like, can the billionaires get any fucking richer? And now it's cool. Like, one of the main accounts I love to follow is all the political insider trading that's happening, and they like, you can follow what they do with your investments. Like Nancy Pelosi's like a big one. And because we now have access to that kind of information due to the internet. So I do think
that would be a good reality show.
Yeah, like, I've got $5,000. Let's see if we follow Nancy Pelosi for 30 days.
Yeah, or just like, let's review today's trading stats from the Senate in Washington. Who's making money where?
News today, like Trump just did I was like, I love reading this shit because it's like, once again, it's, I don't know, you could come up with a word for it, like Whitney's fucking, here we go, it's the gunpowder in the fucking keg, and I love it. But he's profiting billions because of insider trading, because he's from his tariff stuff. Oh, you know, and you're just like, are people mad yet?
Is anyone paying attention? What are people paying attention to?
I think they're paying attention to this. I do feel like a lot of people are, I don't know. I'm doing this thing called, you can join it with me if you like. It's called the 30-Day Mental Challenge. One of my favorite philosophers, Mitch Horowitz.
He's going to make me do 100 push-ups a day.
Absolutely not, babe.
Okay.
You just read this, you just commit to 30 days and you read this little passage every day that says, I'm going to direct my energy and all my thoughts about the past, present, and future into a positive light. And you do it for 30 days. And it is actually kind of hard. But I have done that. I think I'm on I'm on day 10. I started it on the 1st. And it's hard, but like with politics in the future, I go, this is going to be really good. And then like yesterday, I see that James Tallarico, who is, his whole campaign is fuck billionaire puppets.
Yeah.
That's his whole campaign. And
he's a politician?
Yes. He used to be a middle school. He's in Austin. He's running for Senate now. He raised $1 million in 12 hours.
Hell yeah.
Because he's like fucking shedding so much light on all the shady shit that's going down in Texas. And he's like, we're going to fucking fight. And he's like, we're not going to do the Democratic shit and just like be complacent with what people think. He's like, we're actually going to fight. And it has been, and I was like, man, I'm on day 10. I'm on day 10 of this. And, like, this guy is starting to gain a lot of momentum, and he is, you know, he something that like really ruffled a lot of people's feathers is he's like, Trump is a child of God, and he's a Christian, but he's also just so fucking anti-billionaire that I'm like, this is what we need. We need somebody who speaks,
or else the billionaires will just consolidate their takeover.
He's also the one that exposed the voucher scam and like gave everybody all the details, and he was on the floor of the Texas Capitol calling out everybody who was bought and paid for by those guys. And I was like,
hell yeah,
yes, the future is now. And I love that. And I was like, oh, it's only day 10 of positive thinking, and I'm already seeing.
He's our age.
Yeah, he had a thing in Round Rock last night. It was fucking packed. I kind of wanted to go, but Round Rock is far and weird to me.
That's awesome. I will accept your challenge, although I feel like that's kind of how I view my day-to-day stuff.
You are also you don't struggle the way that I do with.
I'm sorry. I don't want you to struggle.
I love it. I appreciate it. You are inspiring to me. I'm not jealous. I'm like, I want to be more like Megan. You fucking drop cooked food off at my house and you play with my kids and you're very positive. Well, Linda's always like, where's Megan? I miss Megan. I love Megan, you know, and she's hard to please. You know, I love it.
Let's have a party.
I was thinking that. I loved your brunch idea. I was like, I should invite people to my house. Then I don't have to go anywhere.
And you can make it a potluck. People could bring little dishes.
Like bring little things, and
I think that would be a blast. And then you can just mix up all the kids and let them play.
Yeah, Sundays are so protected, but I just want everybody's partners to quit their fucking jobs. And
yeah,
they also, like, before the Industrial Revolution, like, the man stayed at home. There was no leaving the house. Your business was your home. You know, you worked. You didn't.
Oh, because you had to
go
trade?
Somewhere. Yeah, it was talking about this was specific to America. The way it was slated was that, you know, blacksmith workers, cobblers, handymen,
it was like Bob's Burgers.
woodworkers.
Their business was downstairs and their home was upstairs.
Exactly. And you see all those buildings along South Congress. I mean, the family was not broken up. I feel like it is getting back to that to some degree. People are working from home, or unfortunately the commodification of hobbies, which Aaron and I were talking about. It's like the grindification of the things that you love, and he wants to go back to just loving
That's
food.
particularly potent for him.
Yes. Well, too, he gets bothered about it. Oh, you built this table? You should build tables. Oh, you built this light? You should make lights. And it's just like, you guys don't know. Aaron is just really good at everything, and he does it. He wants to ascend and transcend his consciousness above his body. So, like, he has no interest in...
Well, that's why initially
Your
I
pursuits.
characterized him as a bodhisattva of
Yes.
cooking, because he already reached enlightenment, but it's like, not that it's his duty to like share his discovery with everyone else, but that's what he's been doing.
Another crazy thing is I started that Kabbalah book, and the first picture is like an old press of Adam and Eve and Lilith with Eve.
Snake legs.
And then Aaron was like, let me show you. He's been making art, and the first thing he showed me was Adam and Eve. But in his, Adam ate the apple, which I loved. You know,
What?
but he showed me that, and
When did he
like
show you that?
Aaron doesn't know. I was like I had started the book that day. I was like, "Boah, so weird." But Aaron always picks up what the
He's
universe
really
is putting
tapped
out. Yeah, he
in.
is really tapped in.
He's like Father Hennessy, but instead of alcohol, it's weed. He has
Yes.
to take weed to suppress all the things that are streaming into him constantly.
I feel that way sometimes too. I've been accepting that. I was like, I want a cigar and a fucking joint and 2 old fashions, and like, just get away from me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta honor
A buffer.
that. Really, because then I go, I don't want to do anything. I won't eat meat. I'm not drinking. You know, you just go through these cycles of crushing weight of existence.
I love it just riding it though.
It is
instead
fun.
of resisting it.
Yes, or guilt. Everything's about balance.
Right.
You start noticing you're going one way, you got to course correct.
No, I always feel guilty when I wake up feeling hungover and I don't feel like doing anything because I overindulged the night before. And I'm just like, just remove your stigma. Just release yourself from the shame that you feel.
It's hard to cultivate awareness and moderate and be balanced, but also be kind to yourself.
Yeah. It's just, you know, you're having so much fun and you're dancing around and you're like, more! And then you wake up the next day and you're like, I shouldn't have had more. But at the time, I was riding that wave. Speaking of riding the wave, you got a turtle head poking out?
No, babe.
You got a meerkat cresting the field?
Why do you?
No.
You trying to project your shit
My
symbolism
shit.
on me?
Literally my shit.
Literally his shit, mate.
Well, here we are.
What do you think?
About AI?
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, it would make life easier. But
It has enabled. I haven't gone into the positives it's made in my life, but as a whole, it would make life easier.
But we have to agree, like, going forward, we need to make solid rules about AI and its usage, and there have to be like non-negotiable terms that we can all agree
Yeah,
on.
like helping 16-year-olds commit suicide, which just happened. Yeah, it's like you didn't put that in. You didn't. I mean, I don't know how complicated it is to write code for AI, and I'm sure it's far beyond what I can comprehend. But I'm like, you didn't put that, or how do I murder somebody?
And I feel like if we, state that these are non-negotiable things that we need in place to like govern AI before we'll allow its proliferation, we're already too late. Like, it's already proliferated. But also, I feel like the Silicon Valley people are going to push against that because they think, free speech. It's like the whole X thing with Elon Musk. Free speech is free speech. You can't limit people who want to be white supremacists or who want to be discriminatory, who want to do hate speech. I feel like he would be the person who's like, you can't tell AI not to talk about violence or self-harm. Like, that's limiting its, powers or possibilities. So I just think as a society, we should all agree AI should be a tool that we use, and so we can be the creative, intelligent designers, as opposed to allowing AI to take on human characteristics and attempt to replace people instead of being like our helpers.
So thinking about that as, I'll call it a top-down thing. Like, we need to start here with AI, draw lines and boundaries, which are very important and that we don't ever see in anything anymore, and then go down. But I'm like, people love, it's not Andrew Tate. There's another guy, right-wing guy, Tom, you might know who I'm talking about, who's just like getting so many fucking followers. And he's...
Is he a toxic masculinity guy?
Yeah. Right.
He's in the manosphere?
Is that... I didn't know it had a name.
I was reading about the manosphere yesterday.
Oh, manosphere.
Yeah, it's
what's the lady sphere?
No, there's
just
just
man. There's just
it's,
man.
The manosphere is in response to like feminism. It's like a play on blogosphere. It's just like a environment online where
types of dudes.
How do I say anti-feminist? I don't know. It's like pro toxic masculinity in my purview. But I'm sure there's a better definition for manosphere.
Gonna barely spend any time on this.
Are you looking up manosphere?
No.
Listen, I was born in the manosphere.
I just want to
and I made it out alive. I'll tell you what. And I took everything I learned and I applied it to my life.
Not these guys. Anyways, okay, back to AI.
Meet me in the manosphere. Just kidding. I don't want to go there.
But I'm like, oh, we don't have any, what do you call them? Role models.
Oh, yeah. Well.
And so the guy that's the most confident and the guy that has the strongest ideas and has the biggest following, truthing, is the guy who gets like all the, he's shaping the male influence. And I'm like, I think we need, but then the people who don't want to be role models are the ones that we fucking need. But they're not gonna fucking put the camera out in
the reluctant hero.
And I worry about all these guys who are, so insecure about their gender and their sexuality, and they start going under the wings of these guys who I just think are like little man baby guys. And okay, but what happens when you try to maybe when you're not chock full of testosterone at 21 and now you're 35 and you're alone, and then you've got all these school shootings and stuff because these people I don't know, they're mentally ill and they need help and they need somebody to talk to, and before it gets to now you are a piece of shit that belongs in hell. It's like there's so many, and then it comes back to ripping everybody's original spirituality from them and then giving them Christianity and homogenizing and sterilizing their moral compass with this mythical guy that looks at you and says, don't touch your peener. This is what you get. You get the big petri dish of like fucking just, here, you conquered everybody, now they're all going bad. Now we've all been sitting in the fruit bowl too long because you didn't give us anything.
All my stuff's going on. Well, so it makes me think like we lack clear roles in society. We lack ritual.
That's for sure.
We lack the stories that we tell each other as a reminder that we're all in this together. There are some stories that unite people across the globe, but they tend to be religious. And to me, the religious story is not all inclusive because whichever religion you focus on, it has a beginning point and it has an end point. So it can't be the whole truth. But I think that looking at religion is a good way to see bits and pieces of the truth as we've been able to glean them over time. but we need an overarching global story that reminds us that we are all the same thing. And that's really hard without coming up with some crazy fucking alien invasion shit, like, oh, common enemy, now we're all on the same team and we can all act together. And to an extent, does globalization and sort of like global cooperation, does that eradicate our sort of all of our economies, like national economies? Does that eradicate our competition, like in innovative industries? Like if we were to sort of cooperate on a global scale as opposed to constantly being at war with one another, would we still make scientific discoveries? Would there still be like cutting edge technologies that are developed if it's not for war? You know, like, is it possible for us?
There's a hospital in Turkey where you get treated like a fucking queen, and it's $200, and they do like a full workup on you, and you know everything about your body for $200, and you get fed all these amazing foods. They figured it out.
Did they have a socialist economy?
I don't know. Oh shit! I had so many things I wanted to say, and I kept it all in. I was thinking, as you were talking, what popped into my head was I read this like really sad interview with the father of the guy who committed the Sandy Hook massacre.
Yeah.
And he was like, I wish he was never born. I'm so sorry. Like, I wish he was never born. I would trade his existence for all of your children, all of your first graders and second graders. And it reminded me, you know, and he was like he loved that school when he was a little boy, but then middle school came and then he got really bullied, and then nobody was paying attention, and the parents were divorced, and then the dad was out of the picture, and then the mom was a gun nut. And then, so it's like, I see why this happens. I see this with my parents' generation. You had your kid, now go off. There's no parenting. There's no like, hey, come live at home. It sounds like you're going through a really hard time. Like, come be with me. Like, I'll make you food. It's like, I had kids and now I don't know, they're doing stuff, and I'm also from the Midwest. I'm just not going to talk to anybody ever again. And then you have a bunch of men who are listening not to their fathers because their fathers are too busy working or indulging or whatever. I don't know.
Doing
out of touch. They're just out of
bad
touch.
daddy stuff.
And you know this. You know how deeply in tune kids are and how hungry they are for attention and connection. And but they do it in this way where like your kid's acting out because they need more love, but you can't love them because they're fucking screaming at you and kicking at you and biting you and, you know, kicking your nuts and stuff. So it's like this weird elevation you have to do just on a parental level, which is like, oh, it's okay, I still love you, you know, and I'm going to help you no matter what, and my wisdom will always, you know, you're going to go do your thing, your Rumspringa at fucking 16 through 20, but you're probably going to come back and then you'll want to listen. And I don't know, or we don't collectively, there's no parenting. You're just like on your own in a Target parking lot for 40 years.
That has been my experience and your experience. And I'm always so relieved when, like, if I have a guest in a class and they're, like, talking about how, you know, they used to go here summers with their families, and they, like, have these big family get-togethers, and they are learning shit from their mom and their dad, and they have this, they've had this in their family for this long, and they have like this sense of continuity and stability that comes from their family, and that's awesome. Some people get it, some people have it, and a lot of people are healing and trying to provide that, the thing that they never got, which is fucking dope, and I love it. That is just to say it's possible, and we don't have to be adrift unmoored in a sea of confusion and pornography and artificial intelligence.
Yeah, like how much would it make a difference if your dad was just like saw you for you and didn't have expectations?
Yeah.
And got on your level and thought what you were doing was really cool no matter what it was, and like help foster that.
It's insane to think how
maybe the whole
different
world would change.
we would be.
We don't need AI.
But so that dad, that like archetypal dad, was once a child with a dad. So we have to reframe the way we think of children if we want good dads.
Yeah, and I don't like the, it's cute and I love it. But dressing little babies up in like dumb little stuff, I'm like, they are so much smarter than most adults I meet. Because
the cuteness is to their detriment, honestly.
It
turns them into little baby dolls.
I remember telling us too, I was like, they need to be draped in motherboards and red silk and gold, because they're just like, they teach you so much about yourself and they communicate in ways that you didn't know were possible, and they don't need little ice cream cones on their diapers.
And the belief is like, oh, these uncivilized barbarians can tell us nothing about a civilized life. But that's the magic of their intelligence. They haven't been ruined by society yet. They have something pure and natural.
And violent. You do have to kind of like shove civilizedness in their throat. It is. But for the most part, it is raw and so intelligent that I...
And like their access to things that we can't see is really special. Like I was talking about this with my therapist the other day. I told her that when I was younger, I used to see things like crouching in my doorway or like walking down the hall towards me as I was going to sleep. Like I would always see these like figures and stuff. And she like looked at me and kind of in hesitation, and I was like, what's up? She was like, well, I don't know what you believe. And I was like, assume I believe everything. And so she was just like, well, studies have shown that children have more access to those types of things, those, what do we call them? Phenomena, I guess. And then as you get older, you become numb to it, or you like learn to write it off and not pay attention to it anymore. It's like
nobody validates you.
Right. It's
you
just
spend
like
your whole life not being validated.
Don't spend your time focusing on these sort of immaterial things that we can't really get to. Just do your job, stay here in the material realm, and then, do real things. Whereas the other night, or maybe last night, Dan and I we just came in the house and we like put our bags down, whatever. And then we heard like this crazy thing like fall somewhere. And we were both like, huh, what was that? I don't know. Let's watch TV. Just like immediately we were like, probably nothing. But I don't know. The other morning I was laying in bed, and Willow does this thing which you could probably relate to having babies. She just like starts meowing at 5:30 in the morning, and I have to get up and feed her, and then if I go back to sleep, she'll come wake me up, and she wants me to stay up. And I don't really know how to change that behavior. I've tried like locking her in another room, but she just cries the whole time, and then I feel really bad. But I was laying down after feeding her, and I swear I heard someone say hello. Like a young girl. Hello? And I was like, huh? Hello? Hello? And then I just laid back down. I was like, who was that? Who said hello?
I had a...
It's interesting we could be talking about AI and globalization and still come back to the fucking...
Ghosts and porn, baby.
Yeah, baby.
So I go to church every Sunday at the Spiritualist Church via Zoom, and nice. At the end they the mediums ask certain people in person or on Zoom if it's okay if they give you messages that are from the other side. And nearly every Sunday I get one. But Alexis asked me this Sunday, and I was at the gym. It's just so funny to try to like listen to somebody tell you something about a ghost, and you're like staring at a sweaty butt crack. You're like, yeah, what?
That's the perfect representation of being human.
Yeah, no, it really is. And he said, he was like, a girl is coming forward and she's following Ruby and looks like Ruby and acts like Ruby, and she's just in your presence. He's like, I don't feel like this is going to be with you for very long, blah, 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 blah. He goes on about it. And I haven't, we don't, these are mediums coming forward with messages is what I'll say. I'm not going to sit and try to validate it. But when he told me that and he was done, I was like, fucking happened the other day. I was in Poochie's room laying with Poochie, and I heard Ruby get up and laugh and run down the hall, and I was like, oh shit, I do not want her to come in here, because I was like waiting to see if she's going to come in, but she went into the living room. And I was like, okay. So I got up and I was like, this is so weird. She never gets up before Lydia. And so I go out there and I go out to the living room and there's nobody there. And I was so confused because I was like, I heard running. It wasn't faint or like right when you wake up and you hear something. It was like, no, I was awake. And then the TV was on to like the kids' Netflix. And I was just like, I went and checked on Ruby to see if like, oh, she ran back or something. Never got up. And so it made sense. I was like, yeah, there's definitely a little kid fucking around in here, because I don't know what that was.
Do you have any ideas who it might be?
No, they say that little kids just naturally pick up all sorts of like fun stuff. Things want to follow them, and nature spirits, also known as can't think of the word right now, but they follow them a lot. Nature spirits are also called. Not gonna happen right now, but they're all over the place, and they're like fun little things that hide stuff and knock stuff over, and you gotta shoo them out.
Little sprites.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a long history of different ways to explain all of those little blips and bleps, and every culture has a different explanation for it. That's why I think religion is not enough.
No. Toaster asked if people with schizophrenia have access to that. I was like, yeah, and it's turned up way too much. Because one of my things in my practice is communicating with living nonverbal people. And connecting with them is crazy. It's very different than connecting with a verbal person, because it's like a roller coaster. And this has happened maybe 12 times. I'll be at a fucking restaurant, and then there will be some kid who's nonverbal in a wheelchair with medical issues. It sits right fucking next to me, and I'm just like, I can't sit here because I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this information.
Oh.
I'm not going to go to the parents, and I don't know why that keeps happening. I don't know why they're magnetized to sit next to me when it's like there's 800 tables here.
With you? Does it seem direct, or
I
are they
start
just sort
getting
of
a lot of information, and I don't want to, so I like go away and I block it out because it's dramatic and it's hard. It's hard.
Damn.
But it's funny because it's like I hear them loud and clear. You could do that. I haven't. My therapist is telling me to listen to the telepathy tapes because apparently that's.
I was just thinking about those
Non-verbal autism children and their mothers having telepathy. I believe telepathy is a thing. The CIA has, yeah, whatever. But we just don't ever practice it, and you have to practice it. It's a skill. It's not just this thing, you know. It's like their parents could communicate with them. And maybe the moms do on some degree, but nothing that they can have a full-blown fucking conversation with you. Mm-hmm. I can, as we talk about this, I feel this kid coming in, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to see him ever again, but he so desperately wants to communicate.
Did he seem to need help?
He was totally incapacitated. Like, you know, breathing tubes and then like this weird head stabilizer. Really intense.
Damn.
Yeah. Ugh. They weren't called fairies. I'll put it in the Discord.
Yokai?
All right, bye.
Dryads? Nature spirits. Spirits.
We got to get MAWPOD back weekly.
Hell yes.
As a closing bit, I have been struggling to step into my mediumship on social media. I see all my other medium friends just like it's nothing to them. I was like, wow, it's really hard for me to do that. And
there's a level of acceptance.
Oh yeah, that I just like it is so hard for me to do. Why was I bringing this up?
MAWPOD weekly.
But I was talking with my therapist. Is like MAWPOD. I have no fucking issues except for the fact that it doesn't get a lot of like nobody's watching it. So I feel
that's
like
the pin we put in, right? MAWPOD sacred practice protection.
I have. It's like you have. It's a exercise in authenticity and also not. Okay, well, if I know somebody else is watching, how is that going to alter
the expectation?
How I perform? So we have to do this more. You just have to spit it out too. You just have to spit it out.
And it's hard. Like you'll think something, and you're like, "Fuck yeah!" Spit it out, put it out there. Then you watch it again. And you're like, "Should I delete this?" And you're like, "No." Throw the phone. Don't delete it. You just put it out there. Just leave it.
Well, that and too, it's like, to me, it's crafting. And I love crafting. It's like, okay, ooh, yeah, put it out there. But like, thoughtfully. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But not too... Don't intervene.
You don't want to like...
squash it.
Formulate it.
No.
Or manipulate it. Like, you don't want it to be diarrhea or vomit. But you do want it to be slightly sensical. You can do it.
It's being an artist.
Yeah.
You put your shit out there, you get better and better at it. Mm-hmm. That's hard.
It's good to do the hard things.
Do you have a closing bit for us, babe? Bread baking master?
Nemo mamo mai. I love everyone.
She loves everybody.
I love you.
I love you.
And try not to be too judgmental, I suppose. Give us a break. We're all men at work. Know what I mean? Give us a break if you see us on the side of the road.
I realized I filmed a video yesterday for my channel. I was like, be reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are very reasonable.
Reason is not that cool. It's more cool to be angry or judgmental or upset. Try it. You might like it.
Thanks for joining us. See you later, everybody on the stream.